Oh, well, something's wrong with my phone. I must have got something sticky on it. I'm having trouble with it. Well, anyway, I just put up two videos, and it's about the United Nations and the General Assembly, and the fact that well, my phone's throwing me off there, that President Trump is there, and he's going to, what's there? I'm going to try to read this. He's going to chair the Security Council meeting and use the gavel today. And you get Nikki Haley is the UN. I've forgotten her name. She's over it. Excuse me if right at the moment I don't feel the greatest about any of this. National Security Council meeting. President Trump addresses the United Nations 9 hours ago, but this is coming up. And, now then, I'm not sure where he's going with it. The Israel became Israel again when they took down my father, and the treaties, illegal treaties, were made by the Illuminati, the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Roosevelt, etc., which are Jewish. The Kennedys, of course, are Irish. Geez, my mom was Irish. She certainly wasn't like the Kennedys, who kidnapped me and took down my dad and my mom. She was from Madison, Wisconsin, but she is an O'Keefe, and their heritage is from Ireland. Well, I got off on that because I wanted to say this part. It was after my father wouldn't follow orders from the Illuminati, and they are Jewish, and now then the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the banking, all that. They took down my father illegally, and as of today, Elizabeth, who's a part of it, the Illuminati, illegal. She's not the monarch. Her father replaced my father, and became the illegal George VI. You got the Illuminati saying who's the monarch. Then they kidnapped me at age 2 and brought me to Moulton, Alabama, to a hellhole. I don't know any other way to say it. And that's been my life and my children's. And what you did to my sons and marks the heir after me, I hope the world has to see. And I have simply told you, I didn't know when I started out about my real name. I've been told I always knew subconsciously, and when I found out in '83, after I was in a U.S. political campaign to replace Larry McDonald, Dr. Congressman, who in fact tried to help have me killed in April Fool Day of '80. And Larry Flint did a editorial April of '84 in the magazine about me. He says I know who was responsible for his shooting in Lawrenceville, Georgia in '78. He is paralyzed from the neck down. His attorney was killed in Lawrenceville, and the judge was badly injured. Now, I want to get to this. Trump has told, I was hoping Trump was a good guy. I have a big question mark today after all this. I really do. Well, I've lost my train of thought in it, I guess. It gets me. This is your global government, the Illuminati, that kidnapped me, took down my dad, made the Brits fight against themselves because they invaded us, is what they did with the illegal treaties my father wouldn't sign. They're still illegal, but I guess it'd take God to enforce it now. It looks like you've done your job well. You've got you go in, you make the other countries sound bad, so you can go in and take them over, and they either become a part of you or else. Okay, right now, Iran, Syria, but I believe they're both members. Correct me if I'm wrong. Iran, I believe, is. Anyway, you make them all part of this global government. And what do you need with President of the United States or the Prime Minister of England or the monarch or the British, Australia, Prime Minister? What do you need with all those when you've got your appointed people that are supposed to represent all these countries? Um, you know, they've chipped everybody. Not just me telling that, but I told about the ones done in patterns, some of them, the murders, etc. Told about my kidnapping. It is not okay, with me anyway, that the Jews were the biggest part in kidnapping me and taking down my father and the horror that happened to me here. It is not okay. And, how would you think it? So, this whole thing has come down to exactly this. I didn't know it. But supposedly, the end times, if you believe in the Bible and the prophecies and God, it is the chip. It wasn't just me. I put up a book that was written after I started telling all this by Tex. I believe it's Tex Mars, or I can't remember the other Mars, Marrs. But a church sent it to me, the book. It bought it and sent it up to the trail where I was living to have a place to be. And I wish I'd kept it all, but I kept one page, which tells enough that what I'd been telling about placing chips in people, you don't have any civil rights. You don't even know you're getting it. If you did and you went to a doctor, he'd have your ass hauled off to a mental hospital and given psychotic drugs. You don't treat people under mind control, you deprogram them. But that's the whole point. It's being used as a weapon, and you don't go to court. They got you. I mean, once they got you under the um, medicine, they call it a medicine. It's just another war game going on. You got the mind control. God help you if you're one that's programmed to go out and kill, shoot, mass, whatever. Timothy McVeigh was on death row. Was in this book by Tex Mars too, which I'd always said he was. It was done in patterns. He was put to death. I'm going to say it again. In this piece of the page out of Project Lucid, it says Timothy McVeigh says he had a chip put up by the Army. And he died. He's supposed to have bombed the Murray building, and they take away your civil rights. That's what I'm trying to say. The very thing they have. And here they are up here now, and Trump's going to talk. I guess I'm going to hear this. And there may be another side to this. There really might be another side to all this. My father, me, my children, my country, and the lies told, and now you're getting what they created. You have the Illuminati, the Freemasons to think. It's right here in the United States. New York City is the headquarters, and they're all smiling. Nikki Haley is just hunky-dory up. You got a bunch of cold-blooded killers up there is what you've got, that will take every right away from you under the guise of being good to you. And that's all I can say right at the moment. I will be so disappointed in Trump. I hoped he was the good guy. He's addressing them, and he seems to be going along with Israel. It's not okay. And if you believe in God, everybody wants to bring in God. If you believe in God, how are you going to let this stand? You think it's okay to do all this to me and mine and my father, and then I'm trying to tell you about it, and you get chipped. And that's where all of it's gone. If you're not already chipped or have a GPS in you, well, it's a coming. And a lot of people bought it. I don't mean you all. There's a lot of people have spoken out, and it's right here in front of me right now. And you know what? They don't think they've done a bad thing at all. Under the guise of freedom, civil rights, I don't know. It would seem to be end times to me. And by the way, something happened this morning, and I hope that it happens. I do, and I'm not going to say, but remember today, and I hope it happens. And then you'll hear the truth. So help me God.